right, don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Health Blaze, at thehealthblaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Website, promo code, description. Thanks. All right, man. I had an Errol Spence video coming. I got some news while I was live. And I'm going to talk about that news in 1 second. And also end up coming out, Errol Spence was charged with the Class B DWI. Would indicate he was driving under influence. His blood alcohol level was greater than 0.8. I think that's the legal limit in Texas, but it was lower than it was lower enough. It was lower than 0.15. So it's categorized as a Class B. I'll link that article in the description. I got all the information in it, but we back. It's Goodfella Sports TV. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, yeah, I didn't know this was going to come out. It was some inklings that it could come out, that he was under the influence. You know, it is what it is. It's not, end of the world. Everybody knew Errol Spence turned up. That was a huge thing that I heard, and I got that information the most, is that, you know, he drank alcohol like some athletes do, or most fighters do, and he smoked weed, okay? That's his prerogative. He had already fought. He already done the testing and stuff of that nature. And that is what it is. Today he said he escaped with no broken bones. There's rumors out there that he broke his jaw, but if he had no broken bones, and it's true that he announced on Instagram, then he good to go. I heard that he missing a few teeth, or he need a little bit of oral surgery. So it ain't the end of the world for Errol Spence. So that is what it is. And I know a lot of people going to say, see, you know, he endangered this person's life. People make mistakes, okay? We all make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. You know, people act like they never made a mistake. They never did nothing stupid. And if you didn't do nothing stupid, it's probably because you was broke enough not to do nothing stupid. And he got all this money. He just got to be more careful. And, you know, with all that money he got, he need to get a driver. You know what I'm saying? He needs a driver. You know, he need to smarten up. If you want to turn up and enjoy yourself, well, get a driver. And a driver can drive you home. You know, he could drive you home, but it's a case that he a beat. But they do probably need to give him a little bit of help. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, after this, you know, he put his career in jeopardy. But after this, he probably just need a little bit of help, you know. Probably not need to drink and go to some Alcohol Anonymous classes or whatever. And, you know, get clean, because, you know, it's a huge thing that's going around in the state of Texas out here and going around in the boxing world that he's an alcoholic. Now, I don't know how true it is. I don't know if that's the case. But, hey, if he need help, they need to get him help, and I'll leave it at that. But the good news here is that Errol Spence's timeline will not change. He still will be fighting Danny Garcia this January 25th on pay-per-view in L.A. He's well enough to come back where he ain't going to have to, you know, he'll still be able to go in camp. I guess they're going camp in like November, and he's still good enough to go in camp and fight Danny Garcia. So that's not going to change. He still will be fighting Danny Garcia January 25th. And barring any setbacks, I believe he'll come back again a few months later, or quite a few months later, and defend his IBF in the mandatory fight between another top-ranked guy named, who I can't pronounce, Luis Collazo. They fighting sometime coming up, and he'll fight the winner of that for the IBF mandatory. And then the plan is for him to fight Manny Pacquiao at the end of the year. But nobody knows if Manny Pacquiao would oblige him and fight him. But I know Pacquiao is supposed to retire after next year. Okay, unless Floyd Mayweather keep dangling that carrot in front of his face. Pacquiao last year, I think he expected to fight 3 times next year. And then he supposed to head into the sunset. So it's believed that Errol Spence could be his last fight as a professional fighter for the time being. But Errol Spence, it ain't that bad. You know, he able to, I guess, get his mouth fixed up. He able to get back to training. And he's still going to fight Danny Garcia. Okay, I don't know if he have any setbacks, or, you know, sometimes when you get in accidents, you know, you get to training and you feel, oh, I feel this in my back. I didn't feel that before. Because when you walking, you work a lot of muscles, but you don't really put the strain on them. So he get the bending, he get the lifting, he get the punching, he get to doing strenuous training, and he might feel something. So that always can change. And But he's still gonna fight Danny, so he didn't fuck up the bag. And that's the good thing about it, though, is that, right now, he got about another month to relax, and then he can get to training, because he just fought in September, But I heard they still gonna be doing it January 25th. So, can it be some excuses that's gonna be made for Errol if he lose? Oh, Errol had that accident. Yes, exactly. It's always that built-in excuse now. Oh, he wasn't the same. He should have took a tune-up after the car accident, or he came back too fast. But Danny Garcia can care less. Danny Garcia seen something in the Sean Porter fight that made him brave enough to want to fight Errol Spence. Now, I believe they also forced Danny Garcia to fight Errol Spence, because I heard Premier Boxing Champions is having some, may I say it's financial issues. You know what I'm saying? They having some financial issues that Fox really helping alleviate the pain and solve those issues with the deal they got. And at this point, the best got to fight the best. They might not be putting on a tremendous amount of names and star cards, but the best gonna have to fight the best on top of the bills. I hear they cards not selling out. I hear that, obviously the attendance not doing well, and they overpaying the fighters, and they can't really satisfy the demand, and they have to make the best fights to put adequate numbers on the board. All right, as far as in these fighters' pockets. So Errol Spence and Danny Garcia, I wouldn't be surprised if Danny was forced to take this fight. Now, Danny is considered the number one fighter in WBC. I believe they also will introduce him as Spence's mandatory. Now, people saying, well, Yugas, he fought a title eliminator, and Yugas did this and Yugas did that. Yeah, at the end of the day, politics. Danny Garcia and Errol Spence is a more sexier matchup than Errol Spence and your Dennis Yugas. And that's what you got to understand. So, you can be ready for the blame game. You can be ready for the built-in excuses, but the Crawford and Errol Spence timeline, or the Crawford and Manny Pacquiao timeline, doesn't seem to be affected by this. Now, the narrative can be affected by this now. Now, at the end of the day, when people go back and say, well, Errol Spence's victory over Kell Brook is kind of tainted, because Kell Brook got knocked out, had a broken eye, didn't get a tune-up, came down from 160 to 147, and still fought him. When people come out and say, well, that really ain't a real, solid victory. The Sean Porter victory is his best victory to date. And Sean Porter wasn't injured. He was fresh. He was, real 47 pounder. He had to cut no weight. And people get mad when they bring that up about Kell Brook. It's still an excellent win, but it has an asterisk by it. It ain't Errol Spence fault. Nobody tell Kell Brook to go up and jump that weight and do that. He should have just fought Jesse Vargas. And then Errol Spence could have had 2 belts, or he could have dropped the IBF and he could have fought Manny Pacquiao. But obviously, Eddie Hearn ain't the best promoter out there. He's one of the more idiotic promoters out there, and the more frugal promoters when it comes to Kell Brook, it seemed like, with that Jesse Vargas situation. But Danny Garcia can care less. If they gonna say, Danny only beat him because of the car accident, he wasn't the same fighter, or Pacquiao only beat him because of the car accident, he wasn't the same fighter. Or if it wasn't for the car accident, he would have washed Bud and this and that. Now it's that built-in narrative. It's an excuse for why, if Errol Spence do come up short, if he wins, the freight gonna be full of people and supporters and stuff of that nature. And I'm not knocking him, because you look at Canelo, he got blind believers. You look at Golovkin, he got blind supporters and blind believers. Anthony Joshua, no matter what he said, what he do, he got blind supporters and blind believers. So at the end of the day, I think it's good for a black fighter to have blind supporters and blind believers. Do some of the trolling, or do some of the, fans that's not as knowledgeable, or just ignorant or pure casual fans get on my nerves about it. Yeah. But you know what? I think it's a positive thing that he has that type of following. And then he don't have to go out there and mimic exactly what Floyd did. And he's setting a new blueprint as a follower, and he using, the Cowboys to do what he need to do. But that narrative will be there. That if he show any rust, or if he show any pain, or he don't look good again versus Danny Garcia, and in a way you can say Danny Garcia presents a step up in issues for Errol Spence from Sean Porter. Now, I'm not saying that it's a step up fight, but styles make fights. Some people think Danny Garcia defeated Sean Porter, but the thing about it is Danny Garcia is a great counterpuncher. Danny Garcia can really punch. And what if Danny Garcia hit Errol in the mouth and Errol mouth start bleeding from the injury, or his teeth fall out, or he caused another injury in his mouth, from the car accident, then people say, oh, if it wasn't for the accident, Danny Garcia 1-1. You know what I'm saying? So that built-in excuse and narrative is there. But Danny Garcia got power. He a sharp counterpuncher. But I believe if Errol Spence keep him on the outside and keep him at the end of his punches, it should be a punishment being dished out on his side. But he got to be clean with his defense. He can't take some of the shots that he took versus Sean. And he may not take those shots because Danny Garcia ain't got the quick hands or quick feet of Sean Porter. All Earl got to do was box, stay on the outside, and do what he did versus Mikey Garcia. Now, it'd be a little bit difficult because Danny Garcia is a little bit, stronger. He's a way bigger puncher. And he can really crack. So Danny possesses some problems, but I think if Earl box and stay disciplined, I think he should overcome Danny Garcia. But I'm a little bit surprised that, he's gonna jump back into the fire that quick. You know what I'm saying? I thought they perhaps gave that January 25th date or scrapped it and maybe moved up Manny Pacquiao and Mikey Garcia or something like that, or gave it to another fighter. But I do know that Mikey Garcia and Manny Pacquiao is going to happen. I know Mikey is going to be tuning up pretty soon. If you didn't hear, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to be coming back December 28th, either in Atlanta, that's good, or in New York City, which probably more likely the Barclays Center. And Badu Jack and John Pascal will be on the undercard. I guess that might be a Showtime card, but it's gonna be December 28th. So I thought he might do Royal Farms again, but they gonna think about doing Atlanta, and he resides in Atlanta. So PBC got a packed December as well. But as far as Errol Spence, to wrap it up, he survived. He got a little bit of, legal situation to handle with the DWI. And then also he gotta figure out, hey man, if I'm gonna go out and have fun, I need to hire a driver. You know what I'm saying? Not just one of your boys. Go get you a driver. You know what I'm saying? And I know you want to drive the fast cars at night, but it's safe to be sorry because he could have killed somebody. He could have killed the kid. His life could instantly change. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, he got a whole responsibility for that. And if he really got a problem with alcohol, and Derrick James, his father, his mother, Al Heyman, whoever his personal manager is, they don't solve that problem right now, it can ultimately become a real big issue in his life. And also it can affect his career, because when you get to the high level, at the end of the day, and some of the greatest fighters of all time, they had their vices outside the ring. May it be crack cocaine, may it be liquor, may it be whatever it be, opiates, painkillers, whatever it is, heroin. A lot of fighters had a lot of different vices out there, and they also rose above it. But ultimately, as you get older as a fighter, those things take over as more of a factor. You know what I'm saying? When you get in those tough 12-round fights and you don't have the extra gear, the way you last is by taking care of your body and not abusing it. The reason Andre Ward, the reason Bernard Hopkins, the reason Floyd Mayweather was able to age so gracefully, because they really didn't have those vices outside the ring. And when you get down to those real 50-50 nitty-gritty fights, it come down to habits. You know what I'm saying? It come down to who live a cleaner lifestyle, especially as you get older. So he need to be cognitive of that. But as of right now, he is still going to be fighting January 25th versus Danny Garcia in LA. Now that can change. It's a rumor right now, but that can change. They can move the date around if need be. But right now, he's well enough to still go ahead and get that money January 25th. So he could be going to camp like in November or December-ish, depending on how many weeks he need. But, he's a warrior. He's definitely blessed. And, once again, I want to send my blessings and condolences out to Patrick Day and his family. He passed away today at 27. Blessings to him, and hopefully he rests in power. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Don't forget to share the videos. If you want to make a donation, the link's in the description. Best way to donate is share the video. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at theHellblaze.com. Promo code GoodFellow1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products, lotion, soaps, foot soaks, bath bombs, and much more. Website, promo code in description. And let me know what you guys think. Article link in the description from Yahoo Sports and the DWI. One time for the one time. Goodfellas Sports TV. And appreciate that love and support from everybody out there, man. Just keep sharing the videos, and I'm going to keep putting it down. We gone.